Douglas Insurance Services, located
1.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Richard Diltz Field for High Top Sports Network's presentation of the Kiski area Cavaliers and the Connellsville Falcons. Very excited to be here with you tonight. I'm Mark Flem alongside Adam Morganti. And Adam, I know this is your first time at Diltz Field this year. I know this is your first time at the Kiski game. Excited to be here?
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a good feeling when whether it's announcing high school football, just covering high school football, just you can't beat it. You can't beat the atmosphere in high school football in Western Pennsylvania.
I agree with you. Where else would you rather be on a Friday night than at a football field? And certainly excited to be here at Richard Diltz Field, especially considering the Kiski area Cavaliers come into tonight's game with a perfect record of 3-0. Kiski looking to improve to 4-0 for the first time since 2002. I was on social media this week, and one of the parents had commented that it's kind of surprising to think that many, if not most, of these kids that are on this team were not even born the last time that happened.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was only about 3 years old. But Kiski, they have a great opportunity tonight. This is their last game, or they actually have 2 games before conference play. This is a great opportunity for Kiski to have a tune-up. Now, last year when these two teams met, Kiski won a hard-fought game, 36-35. So this should be a good game here tonight.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly how I'm looking at the game tonight. Obviously, you see the records on paper. Kiski undefeated, and Connellsville comes in tonight winless. They are 0-3 and coming off a big loss to Norwin, 37-0. But if you dissect it a little bit, and that's what we're going to do here for the next 10 minutes, last year's contest between Kiski and Connellsville, that was a nail-biter. Kiski won in a last-second drive, was able to pull out a 1-point victory, and I don't think it's going to be as close as that game was last year, but if you look at it, Connellsville returns 6 offensive starters, including 4 of those on the offensive line. So I know that they're going to be relying heavily on that leadership or that side of the ball, especially from the running game, and especially considering we learned right before we came on here that starting quarterback, and I'm trying to find his name here, Anthony Piasecki, will not be in the game tonight. So Connellsville will be starting a freshman for the first time all season at the quarterback position. So I think it's simple to say if Connellsville wasn't a running team coming into tonight, it's probably safe to say they will be doing a lot of that this evening.
Yeah, the starting quarterback for Connellsville will be a freshman, Graydon Gilliot, and that's the biggest thing. You mentioned the experienced offensive line that Connellsville has, and they're going to have to step up big tonight in front of this freshman quarterback, make him feel comfortable, give him plenty of time to throw. If you want to, even if you don't want to throw the ball with him, keep the ball on the ground. As you mentioned, that's definitely a great way to ease in your freshman quarterback who has never played in a varsity football game before.
Connellsville is also without one other starter on the offensive side. That is senior receiver Jason McBride. He is out of tonight's game because he received 2 personal foul penalties in the last game, so he will not be playing. And they're also missing, their starting starting outside linebacker. That's going to be Bruce Giles, 5'8", 165 sophomore. So 3 starters, 2 on the offensive side, out for Connellsville. Now, the same can be said for Kiski. On the flip side of it, Kiski is going to be without a very important piece or pieces for tonight's game. Just learned that starting receiver Matthew Hilty, he will not be playing tonight. He has a foot injury. For those of you that have listened or seen Kiski games this year, Matthew Hilty is the team's leading receiver. He's also very, very valuable on the defensive side. He plays a hybrid linebacker/defensive back position. So Matthew Hilty is out, and then starting cornerback LeBrin Smith is also out. He injured his shoulder and or collarbone in practice, I believe, yesterday. So 2 starters out on the Kiski side.
Yeah, and you talk about Matt Hilty. He had a touchdown reception last week in their win against Latrobe, 35-27. Obviously, you won't be getting that today. And you mentioned on the Connellsville side, Jason McBride, on Norwin's opening possession of the game, he had an interception. They were in Norwin territory, and they were set up at a field goal attempt, but it was just a botched field goal attempt. So McBride, he set the tone early for Connellsville, but they weren't able to capitalize. So not only are you going to miss McBride on offense, but you're going to miss his presence on the defensive side of the ball, providing a takeaway for the Connellsville defense last week.
So a lot of new faces or new positions for both teams tonight. As we said, Connellsville missing a few starters and Kiski missing a few. A new face that you're going to see on the defensive side for Kiski is Calvin Heinley. Those of you that, again, are Kiski Cavalier fans, Calvin Heinley certainly famous, if you will, or known for his prowess at the wide receiver position. He is going to be starting at safety. Don Danino, who is your normal start at safety, is going to move down into Hilty's role. So a new face on the defensive side, Calvin Heinley, and I tell you what, Calvin Heinley is definitely athletic. I think he's more than capable of learning the position. If anybody has seen what he has done on the field from the wide receiver position, he was an all-conference player last year at wideout. Last week he had over 100 yards receiving. It's still going to be interesting to see what can he do on the defensive side. Is this a place where Connellsville can attack?
Yeah, well, at least for Heinley, for Kiski, yes, Hilty, their leading receiver, is out, but Heinley, he had a good game last week with over 100 yards. So look for quarterback Logan Johnson for Kiski to definitely probably be his number one target. And you look at Logan Johnson, definition of dual threat quarterback. Last week against Latrobe, he was 10 of 15 for 171 yards. He threw 1 touchdown to Hilty, and he also ran for 2 more. In their game last year against Connellsville, once again, a 36-35 victory for Kiski. He threw for 195 yards for 2 touchdowns, and he also had 11 carries for 57 yards and 1 touchdown.
We're going to take a pause right here as we stand and honor America with the national anthem.
Please remain standing for the playing of the Kiski area alma mater.
Welcome back, everyone. And as we say every week, the football game may be the main, quote, show of the night, But the bands are equally important here at High Top Sports, and where else better can you find a band than Richard Dilt's Field? So great job by the Kiski band as always. Getting back to tonight's action, talking about new faces in new places. You mentioned Logan Johnson, not somebody new, certainly somebody we've seen all year long for the Cavaliers. We talked about player of the game, and every week we award the High Top Sports Player of the Game. And last week we had a difficult time picking just one, and I have to take it on myself to say I failed to even mention Logan Johnson. He was certainly another a person or another player that could have been considered for the Cavaliers, as you had mentioned, Adam, last week, doing it on the ground and through the air. A monster piece for the Cavaliers offense. So certainly somebody that the Cavaliers are going to have to rely on, because Brock Wilkins, he missed the second half of last week's game on the offensive side. He normally shares time at running back with C.J. Hepler. Brock Wilkins was injured in last week's game, and we only saw him on the defensive side. Reports I'm getting tonight before the game is he will not be running the ball again tonight. So we're talking about thin, and both teams having different faces in new places. Brock Wilkins, as we're being told right now, will not be playing running back. So that's going to put a lot more pressure on C.J. Hepler and, as we mentioned, Logan Johnson.
Yeah, and C.J. Hepler, he actually had a great game last week against Greater Latrobe. He ran the ball 23 times for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. So really not much of a downgrade from Wilkins to Hepler. And if Johnson and Hepler can run the ball as good as they did, combined for over 200 yards rushing, it's going to be a good night for this Kiski football team.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. C.J. Hepler was our High Top Sports Network Player of the Game last week, and that was the second time that he's been awarded that award or given that award. And we talk about what he has brought to the Cavaliers offense. He did not play football last year. He took some time off away from the game, so certainly hasn't missed a beat. But Brock Wilkins is one of those guys that, A, has been able to spell CJ, or CJ has been able to spell Brock. And Brock brings just a certain element at that running back position with the power and the ability to wear down defenses that CJ, not to say that he can't do, but certainly I don't think that was what he's designed for in the offense. CJ certainly can grind out some yards up the middle, but I believe that the way the coaches envisioned how those two were going to work in the backfield is CJ can stretch it and Brock can really beat him up. So that's going to be something to watch out for, with not having that hammer, if you will, from the running back position. Another area that we certainly have to focus on for the Cavaliers before we get set for tonight's kickoff, we're just under 7 minutes away from tonight's kickoff, is the spectacular play of the Kiski defense. I don't know how much you've seen, Adam, but defense has definitely been the major driving force for the Cavaliers so far.
Yeah, absolutely. Holding Butler to 7 points week 1. Franklin Regional at only 14. Last week they did give up 27, but it's all about, sometimes when you play defense, it's not all about how many points you give up. It's about getting key stops in key moments. And with Kiski winning one possession game last week, they were able to do that, and they've been able to do that all season long.
Absolutely. You called it right. Last week's game, on paper, again, they gave up 27 points, but several big plays by the defense when the game needed it. We mentioned Don Domino's name a little bit earlier. He'll be in a new position filling in for Matt Hilty, but he had an interception last week to basically solidify the win for the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers have gotten interceptions and big defensive plays from many players on the defensive side. I know off the top of my head, Isaiah Gonzalez had a big interception last week. Carter Diltz, Braden Dunmeyer, and Big Sam Coleman have had huge plays for the defense so far this year. And that's not to say anything about what Brock Wilkins brings in the middle, and Brandon Lawhorn Moore, the new defensive stalwart, if you will, on the defensive line. So many big plays and many big players for Kiski area on the defensive side.
Yeah, that's going to be a key matchup to watch in this game. The experienced offensive line of Connellsville against that great defensive front of Kiski, led by Lawhorn, and that might be where the game is won, is in the trenches. I mean, it usually is, but it's just a great matchup for how experienced Connellsville's offensive line is.
Yeah, we touched on the offensive line briefly. As we said, there's 6 starters back from the Connellsville offense last year, an offense that put up 35 points against the Cavaliers and basically had the game won other than a late Kiski area drive. Connellsville controlled a good portion of that game last year. Kiski was able to make a second half rally, and fortunately for the Cavaliers, Connellsville, some timely turnovers and or plays that just didn't go their way. But it is going to be interesting to see how does that offensive line stand up against the Kiski defense, and how does that offensive line protect freshman quarterback. If you're just tuning in with us right now, Connellsville starting quarterback is out for tonight. The normal starter, Anthony Piasecki, he is out, and a freshman, where is his name? Graydon Jalot, a freshman, 5'7", 160, will be making his first start under center for Connellsville. A Connellsville offense that has only scored 36 points so far in 3 games.
Yeah, and for Connellsville, it's going to be, again, with that offensive line, how are they going to protect their freshman quarterback? And it's not going to be easy with the defensive line that they're going to face of Kiski. And if they can keep it on the ground and take it out of the hands of Gilliot, it could be a good night and just keep the ball away from the Kiski offense by keeping it on the ground.
We're about 3-4 minutes away from the opening kickoff. We're going to take a quick break here. Before we do, if you're a business owner or know of a business owner in the area, we have several opportunities for you to advertise and promote your services here on the High Top Sports Network. Without the sponsorship or without the partnership with our businesses, we cannot bring you the Kiski Sports and all the awesome things that you can see on the High Top Sports website and social media, whether it be interviews for the pregame, postgame, player of the game. We definitely need support of businesses in the area. So we're going to take a quick break and show you some of those businesses from other areas that have supported the High Top Sports Network.
Finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Katanning store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-called prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Welcome back to Richard Diltz Field, where we're about a minute and a half away from the opening kickoff between the Kiski area Cavaliers and the Connellsville Falcons. If you just tuning in with us right now, it's going to be a very interesting contest that we're about to see here. Several new starters, new faces in different places for both teams tonight. Connellsville is going to be without their starting quarterback. They're going to be without one of their starting wide receivers / defensive backs, and they are also missing one of their outside linebackers. On the Kiski side, leading receiver and one of the main players on the defensive side, Matthew Hilty, is out, and starting cornerback, LeBrin Smith, is out. So a lot of new faces in new places for both teams tonight. Teams come in, Kiski 3-0, looking to improve to 4-0 for the first time since 2002, while Connellsville on the opposite side is winless at 0-3. They have a 10-game losing streak going back to last season where they were winless at 0-7. In the last 5 years, Connellsville is 7-43. So certainly looking to get a win in the column for the season and break that streak. A win that they almost had against the Cavaliers last year at home. Kiski was able to pull out a last-second 36-35 win on the road against the Falcons. So it's going to be an interesting contest tonight. Adam, any last words or any last things to throw in here before we get set for the kickoff?
I guess just can't wait for this football game. Should be a good one. A lot of key injuries on both sides, so it's just an opportunity for players on Kiski and Connellsville to step up.
Here's Cody Dykes, and we're underway. Cody Dykes with a high kick. It's caught at the 5-yard line. Across the 15, over off the left side, the 20, the 25, down the left sideline, and up to the 39-yard line. That's Jace Ross with a great return, putting Connellsville in good position on their first drive.
Yeah, just good blocking on the edge that got them in decent field position there. That really set the edge for first down for Connellsville. So
we have number 6, was one of our captains tonight, and he is not listed on our official roster. So I'm going to have to do some digging here. He is over on the wide receiver position. So just fair warning right now, number 6 not listed in our initial roster. So man in motion for Connellsville. Here's a handoff. And he is immediately stopped in the backfield. That tackle was made by number 4, Dunmeyer. There's a name that you are going to hear many times tonight, as you have heard all season long, Braden Dunmeyer. One of the centerpieces of the Kiski defense, along with Brock Wilkins, both of those players from the middle linebacker position. Second and down, loss of 3 on the play. Looks left and is fired incomplete. As we said, freshman Braden Gillett on the at the quarterback position. This is his first start of the season, filling in for injured quarterback Anthony Piasecki. And I believe it's pronounced Jalot. So bear with me as we get some of these numbers and pronunciations. 3rd and 12 from the Kiski 32. That's Jalot in the gun. Rolls to his right, looking downfield. Pass is complete across the 40, up to the 45. Great throw and catch. That reception was Jace Ross. And that's good enough for Falcons first down.
Yeah, great poise by Jalot as he didn't have much time to get that throw off. Looked like Carter Dilts had pressure right in his face, but Jalot was able to throw a strike there for Connellsville first down.
So 1st and 10 for Connellsville from the 46-yard line. 4 wide receivers, 2 on each side. That's Jalot, deep behind center. Handoff, across the 45, up to the 47-yard line. That was Zach David on the carry. Pickup of maybe 1.
Logan Johnson and Sam Coleman.
Sam Coleman in on the tackle there. I couldn't see the other number. But brings up a 2nd and 9 from the 47 with just over 10 minutes remaining in the opening quarter.
Yeah, the first 2 times Connellsville started to run the ball, they haven't had any success so far.
Here's Jalot, shotgun formation again. Looking left, nowhere to go, and he's swallowed up by Carter Dilts. Ball was loose on the ground. It looked like it was after he was down on the ground, but nowhere to go for Jalot. He looked to his left, nobody was open, and immediately Carter Dilts swallowed him up.
Yeah, Dilts, he was in on that 3rd down completion by Jalot. Wasn't able to get there, but Jalot had no time as Dilts did a good job of getting pressure right in his face. No room to step up or roll out outside the pocket, bring up a 3rd and 17.
As you said, Carter Dilts making his presence felt so far here in the early going, twice in the backfield of Connellsville. 3rd and long from the 40. Here's Jalot. Shotgun formation again. Looking right, rolls right. Here's the pass. It is caught across midfield, waiting for a signal. That catch was made inbounds by number 2, Capone Mickens. Going to pick up about 7 or 8. I call it 8 on that play. 4th and 5. And the Connellsville offense stays on the field. Here's Jalot. And there's going to be some flags on the Kiski line. That was number 73 and number 72 for Kiski that jumped. Lawhorn Moore and Sam Coleman, both a little eager to get across that line. And that should be enough for the first down. Waiting for an official signal. Maybe we're going to get a measurement here.
No, it looks like they're moving the chains.
Yeah, where that ball was spotted on the 4th down, I thought that was going to be enough for the first, but had a little pause by the referees, and as you said, it is good enough for a first. So 1st and 10 from the 44. Here's Jalot. Handoff. Gain of about 3. That's Zach David again. Across the 45, up to the 43.
I want to bring up those first 2 throws from Galot, and especially that one that set up the 4th and short and draw Kiski off sides. They had Galot roll out to his right 2 times, and both times he's able to deliver an accurate ball. So that's a good thing to look out for when they have him throw. If they're going to have him roll out to his right, because he definitely looks comfortable doing it.
8:30 remaining in the first quarter. Scoreless right now. Here's David again. This time, his longest run of the game. Across the 35, approaching the 30. Another Connellsville first down. Zachary David with a pickup of about 7 on that carry. Call it 8. And Kiski's going to call a timeout. Scoreless here in the first quarter. 8:20 on the clock. This is Connellsville's opening drive of the night. And they had started, I can't remember the exact yard line. Right, I think it was like the 39-yard line. So deep into Kiski territory, or moving into Kiski territory. Connellsville wasting no time.
Yeah, and keep in mind, obviously depending on how this drive goes, they forced Kiski to go offsides on a 4th and 5. That was brought up by a big completion by Galot. And so far, the young freshman quarterback, he's making key plays when he's been asked to so far in this opening drive.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, twice he was forced to roll to his right, and very poised in delivering the ball downfield and helping this Connellsville offense get into Kiski territory. 1st and 10 from the 33. Here's Galot. Takes the snap. Hand off to David. And David is hit and wrapped up as he approaches the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain. It looked like Dunmeyer was in on the tackle there. That might have been Wilkins in there as well. No gain brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, in Connellsville, all they've been trying to do is really kind of the runs out of shotgun up the middle. And maybe if they're going to be more successful, they might try more outside runs. But Kiski's so far done a pretty good job stopping the run early on.
4 wide receivers for Galot. Galot rolling to the right. He's pressured. Throws on the run, and it's going to be intercepted. That interception is by Logan Johnson. So just as we praise Galot and his poise and scrambling ability, he was pressured to his right again, and this one was lobbed up easily into the hands of Logan Johnson.
Yeah, and the guy providing the pressure again for Kiski was Carter Diltz, who had a sack in this drive. and he pressured Gillot on that first third down conversion by Connellsville, but that time he forced him about to midfield, and it just wasn't an accurate throw at all with pressure in your face. So good job by the Kiski defense to put pressure in the freshman quarterback's face and to force a turnover.
I couldn't quite tell if that was number 8 or number 9 on there. We'll get back to that play. Here's a handoff to Hepler. Hepler stiff arms his way up to midfield. As I was saying on that last play, Deshaun McBride is number 8 for the Cavaliers. Logan Johnson is number 9. And I saw Deshaun McBride come off the field. It looked like he was being congratulated. At first, it looked like it was Logan Johnson that intercepted that ball, but nonetheless, Kiski takes over after the first down run by Hepler. 2nd and 3 from their own 49. Here's Johnson in the gun. Looks to his right. Quick throw to Hutcherson. And Hutcherson can't come up with it.
Logan Johnson's pass.
3rd and 4 from the 49.
Yeah, that was just an easy swing pass out there with no pressure. If you're Johnson, you have to have that throw be accurate so you can give your receiver enough time to create plenty of space, but wasn't able to convert it there on Johnson's first throw of the game.
That's a play that we've seen Kiski be successful with throughout the first 3 games, and as you said, Johnson misfired there. 3rd and 4. Hand off to Hepler. Hepler up the middle, makes a cut at the 40. He's going to go down the right sideline across the 30 and up to the 19-yard line. That's C.J. Hepler.
Yeah, great run by Hepler, and before he had that initial burst, he kind of had a little bit of a hesitation move at midfield. He looked to see where the hole was. He continued right down the middle and cut outside. So great vision shown off by Hepler to get Kiski into the red zone.
C.J. Hepler with a big run, putting Kiski area deep in the Falcons' territory. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Scoreless here in the first quarter with just over 6 minutes remaining. And we have another timeout on the field. Again, called by the Cavaliers. As you can see, Coach Sam Albert not too pleased to have to call that timeout there. My guess is wrong personnel or some kind of signal that got crossed up. But Kiski will take their second timeout with 6:17 remaining in a scoreless first quarter.
Yeah, and Hepler, from those first 2 runs, looked like he really came to play on that first run. He stiffed arm a guy. He just finished off a run really well. Then he showed great hesitation and great vision on that 3rd down run. And like I said in the pregame, Hepler had 167 yards and 2 touchdowns last week against Greater Latrobe. He's off to a good start so far in this game.
In 3 games so far, after a year off of football, C.J. Hepler has been named the High Top Sports Network Player of the Game. So certainly starting off for 3 of 4 here tonight as he got Kiski inside Connellsville territory. 1st and 10 from the 18. Here's Logan Johnson. Looking to throw. Fires to his left. That's Calvin Heinley, and it's in and out of his hands. Heinley could not come up with that. One-on-one coverage, normally that's Heinley's bread and butter. But he was not able to squeeze it, and it's going to be a 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a good throw by Johnson, really on the back shoulder throw. He threw it to where only Heinley was able to get it. He just wasn't able to come down with it. But yeah, good, accurate throw by Johnson. Put it only where his receiver could get it.
2nd and 10. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Scoreless here. Logan Johnson in the gun. 2 receivers, 2 backs. Hand off to Hepler. Hepler across the 15.
Down inside the 15, down to the 14.
Tackled at the 14-yard line. Called a pickup of 4. Brings up a 3rd and 6.
For the Fighting Cavaliers. at the Connellsville 14-yard line.
3rd and 6 from the 14-yard line. That's Hutcherson and Heinley out left. Man in motion is Dunmeyer. Here's Johnson. Toss to Hepler. Hepler going to try the left side. Big block there at the 11 as C.J. Hepler works his way toward the 5-yard line, but a flag on the play.
There's a flag down.
Flag on the play right where we saw that block. I saw several bodies, white jerseys falling to the ground. And unfortunately for Kiski, that block was called illegal. And that run's going to come back.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, perfectly designed plays. They moved Dunmeyer from right to left, and they ran the way that he was motioned, but just an illegal block. But, yeah, right play design by Kiski.
And to continue on there, C.J. Hepler showing a lot of patience, letting that wall or those blockers set up. And, again, unfortunately, flag out on the play will bring a 3rd and 13 now from the 21. Here's Johnson with 4 wide receivers. Looking to his right. Is intercepted. Johnson looked like he was either going to throw the screen or fake the screen. Either way, the throw was picked off. That looked like number 29, Jace Ross. And Connellsville will take over.
Yeah, Johnson tried to get Ross to bite on the pump fake, but great defense by Ross as he did not bite on that fake and was able to get the easy interception for Connellsville. So after Galot throws an interception, the Connellsville defense is able to come up with a turnover of its own.
5:17 remaining, still scoreless in the opening quarter. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Here's Galot. Handoff. David maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Carter Diltz and Logan Johnson.
Logan Johnson also on the stop.
Yeah, Carter Diltz, we're hearing his name a lot. On that first drive, he had a sack and a quarterback pressure that forced Galot into that interception. There, making his presence felt in the backfield for Kiski.
So another new face that we did not mention in the pregame that if you're watching on your TVs here or on your monitors is Holden, number 12, at cornerback for Kiski. Here's a run again, this time by number 21, Xavier Malone. And I believe, again, no gain. But we talked about new faces in new places. Holden Burkett, new starter at the cornerback position for injured LeBrin Smith. So as you're watching the Cavaliers tonight, talk about some new faces in different places. Holden Burkett over at the cornerback position for the Cavaliers. Brings up 3rd and 9 from the 30. Here's Galot. Looking to his right. Fires to his right. That ball is caught by Zach David. David made the catch, and there is Holden Burkett on the tackle.
Yeah, and that throw, he kind of aired it out on there. If there was and David had to come back to the ball. If there was maybe a little bit more zip on that pass, he wouldn't have had to be able to come back to the ball first, and maybe that would have been a first down for Connellsville.
Pickup of 8, but not enough for the first down, as we will see the Connellsville punt team come out for the first time. Back to kick for the Falcons is Zavachin, Ben Zavachin. And back to receive for the Cavaliers. Can't quite make the number. I believe that's number 22, Don Danino. Zavachin barely gets the punt off, but it was a good one. And it's going to be downed at the 36-yard line. So great job by Zavachin there. He was pressured by 2 Cavaliers defenders, and somehow he was able to get that punt off with some good air, some good distance, and Kiski will take over from the 37.
Our hometown Cavaliers at their
2:59 remaining in the first quarter. We're still scoreless as the Cavaliers offense takes the field for the second time tonight. Logan Johnson deep behind center, and that's C.J. Hepler behind him. Calvin Heinley split out wide. Here's Hutcherson in motion, handoffs to Hepler. Hepler off to a big hole off that left side. He's across midfield, the 40, hurdles the man at the 30, and rolls his way down to the 25-yard line. C.J. Hepler gets the Cavaliers back in business again.
Yeah, he just showed great power and speed. 36-yard gain on that run. And Hepler, he had some good runs on that first drive. He picked off right where he left off to already put Kiski in Connellsville territory with the first play of the drive.
C.J. Hepler with a big run gives the Cavaliers a 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Here's Johnson. Hands off to Hepler again. Hepler going to try that left side again. Tries to spin out of the tackle, and not much going there. Wrapped up by a couple defenders for the Falcons.
Yeah, James Barnes was the first guy in there for Connellsville. He did a good job of staying with Hepler. Hepler, he tried to do a spin move towards the outside, but Barnes just got on to him and just didn't let go. So great tackle in the backfield, pick up only a 1-yard gain for Hepler.
2nd and 9. Just under 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Kiski on the Connellsville 26. Here's Johnson. Toss to Hepler on the right side now. Hepler, nifty footwork as he approaches the 20.
That was James Barnes, number 15.
Call it a pickup of 4.
And also Gallus, Tyler Gallus.
And it brings up 3rd down for the Cavaliers. 3rd and 4 from the 21.
For the hometown Cavs.
The last time they were faced with a 3rd down, they just ran Hepler up the middle, and he had a good gain. So let's see if Kiski trusts Hepler to pick this up, as they've really kept it on the ground running with Hepler so far in these first 2 drives for Kiski.
Kiski comes out quickly out of the huddle. Logan Johnson mishandles the snap, able to pick it up and find his way off the right side. He's still going inside the 10, down to about the 8-yard line. So great job by Logan Johnson. As I said, he was in the shotgun and was unable to handle the snap. Ball hit the ground, but he was patient enough to work his way off the right side and give the Cavaliers a 1st and goal.
Yeah, and Johnson's showing off those running capabilities. Last week he ran for 58 yards and a rushing touchdown. So dual threat quarterback Logan Johnson is at quarterback, and not only with Hepler running it, Connellsville has to watch out for Johnson running it as well.
So as the Cavaliers set up for a 1st and goal, Connellsville called their first timeout. 3 timeouts so far in the opening quarter. 19 seconds on the clock. Still scoreless here as the Cavaliers are in the deepest portion of the Falcons' territory so far tonight. We saw the Cavaliers drive into Connellsville territory on their opening possession, only to have a ball picked off. And here's the Cavaliers again, driving into Falcons territory. First and goal from the 8 as the Cavaliers come out of the timeout. I see Heinley out wide on the right. That's Hutcherson, near side, closest to us. Johnson in the gun with Dunmeyer and Hepler in the backfield. Movement on the side, on the Connellsville side. No flag. And Hepler is immediately stopped, wrapped up. Several white jerseys in on the play, led by number 50, James Barnes.
Yeah, he had another tackle pretty much right in the backfield early on in this drive, and Barnes coming up with a few big plays as we reach the end of the first quarter here.
As you said, end of the first quarter, the score is 0-0 as Kiski will be faced With a 2nd and goal, I believe there was no gain on that last run, maybe a loss of a few yards. I didn't see where the ball was spotted before we ended the quarter, so we'll get you caught up there in a second. But we talked about right before that play, it looked like there was some movement on the right side of that Connellsville line. I was waiting for a flag to come out. He must have just timed it perfect. And for, I believe, only the 2nd time tonight, C.J. Hepler was immediately wrapped up for no gain. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Cavaliers come out with here on their next possession or their next play.
Yeah,
this is normally, no, that's okay. This is normally Brock Wilkins' territory in terms of, grinding some tough yards. So it's going to be interesting to see what the Cavaliers do here.
Yeah, so you said Hepler only for the 2nd time. That's really the only 2 times he's had not good runs. He had a big run inside Connellsville territory on this first play of the drive. He also had a big run on their first drive on 3rd down. So let's see if Hepler gets the call here.
2nd and goal from the 10, so that Hepler run lost 2 yards. And we're going to try it again. This time a toss off the left side. Hepler's still on his feet, and Hepler's going to go. 10-yard touchdown run by C.J. Hepler, and the Cavaliers lead 6-0.
Yeah, Hepler showed another great hesitation move. It looked like he was going to get tackled at about the 5-yard line, but he showed great patience, showed off a few tackles, and was able to waltz his way into the end zone.
C.J. Hepler carrying the load for the Cavaliers tonight, as he's been basically the entire offense short of a Logan Johnson run, and the Cavaliers take an early 6-0 lead. Here's Cody Dykes for the extra point. It's dead center as usual, and with 11:53 to go in the first half, Kiski area leads 7-0.
Yeah, and C.J. Hepler, with how he's running so far in this game, really not much of a drop-off, like we said in pregame from him to Wilkins. He just, really, the Connellsville defensive line doesn't really have much of an answer so far for Hepler, and that was definitely showcased in that drive as he had a big run, which Kiski started this drive at his own 37-yard line. He had a big run on the first play to set up Kiski inside the Connellsville territory. He was able to finish off his own work with a 10-yard rushing touchdown.
C.J. Hepler picking up right where he left off last week. As we mentioned several times, he was our High Top Sports Player of the Game last week as he rushed for well over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win against Latrobe. And he's back at it again this week. Don't have any official stats here in front of us, but I guarantee you he's approaching 100 again, as he has been the man for the Kiski offense so far tonight. So the Cavaliers lead 7-0. Here's Cody Dykes, set to kick for Kiski. 2 men deep for Connellsville. And before we can have a return, we have flags on the play. Waiting for a call here. I haven't seen any type of a signal. Not sure what the stoppage was for. I don't see either team moving forward or back. Maybe the officials just quite weren't ready for that kickoff yet. As it appears, we're just going to reset. Cody Dykes still waiting at the 40. And you can see the official in front of him looking downfield. And again, it looks like we're just going to reset that kickoff. So not sure what happened on that play.
Looked like offsetting penalties, so obviously no one gains or loses yards. They're just going to retake the kick.
Thank you very much. I didn't see a flag on the play, but that certainly makes sense. So here we go. We'll try again. Back deep for Connellsville's number 2, Capone Mickens, and I believe number 29, Jace Ross. High kick by Dykes this time. Mickens from the 12. Going to try the middle. And he's going to cross the 20 before getting wrapped up by number 20, Eddie Coleman, and number 88, That's Connor Jordan. So 1st and 10 for the Falcons from the 21-yard line. Freshman Connor Jordan getting his first name action of tonight, and I believe that might be his first tackle of the season. I don't recall calling his name, so congrats, freshman Connor Jordan, on your first unofficial or first tackle, at least here tonight. Here's Connellsville. Wobbly pass over up the right side, in and out of the hands of a Connellsville player, and it's incomplete. That pass was intended to Jace Ross. It was kind of wobbly, and as you said, with an earlier pass, a lot of air underneath. And I don't know if Ross tried to run before he had it in his hands or he was looking downfield, but unable to come up with it. And it's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it just felt like that pass was in the air forever and just had plenty of time for the Kiski defense to go in on the receiver and force the incompletion.
Here's Galot. Deep behind center for Connellsville. Handoff to David. David tried to bounce off that left side and nowhere to go as he's swallowed up by McBride and Brock Wilkins. Deshaun McBride and Brock Wilkins in on the stop for Kiski. And a loss of 2 for the Falcons brings up 3rd and 12 from the 19.
Yeah, on Connellsville's first drive, they were faced with a 3rd and 17. They were got half of that back on a pass play from Galot, and that's just something you don't want with a freshman quarterback to face 3rd and longs. And so big play coming up for Connellsville.
Galot with 3 wide receivers to his right, 1 to his left. He's going to roll to his right. Looking, still running. Pressured by Dilt again, and the pass is fired out of bounds, incomplete. Carter Diltz, you've heard his name many times tonight, again in the backfield pressuring Galot, and Galot had nowhere to go. It was a great job by the Cavaliers secondary, forcing another punt by the Falcons.
Yeah, it looks like Kiski is picking up on Galot, likes to roll out and throw to his right. And Diltz really on all 3 times, just pressure on his face, that time forcing Galot into a throwaway.
Back deep to receive the punt for Kiski. That's number 22, Dom Danino. Danino settles underneath it at the 38. He's going to try the right side. Makes a little nifty move at midfield. He's still on his feet. And thrown out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Dom Danino with a slick run for the Cavaliers as they take over 1st and 10, leading 7-0 with 10:30 remaining in the opening half.
41-yard punt, 20-yard return.
20-yard return by Dom Danino.
At the 41.
Puts the Cavaliers right away into Connellsville territory.
Once again, C.J. Hepler has been the workhorse for this Kiski offense on the first 2 drives, and Johnson really hasn't thrown it that much, but then again, he really hasn't had to with how good Hepler's been able to run the ball. Again, had that rushing touchdown on the last drive.
Here's Johnson looking to his left. Pressure, heavy pressure, and he's going to be sacked right around the 49-yard line. That's number 84, Joshua Marietta.
Loss of 8.
Great job by the Connellsville defense. Johnson had 2 or 3 defenders in his face and nowhere to go. He sidestepped the first defender, but as I said, Marietta was right there to wrap him up. And that's an 8-yard loss for the Cavaliers.
Yeah, Johnson with the deep drop back that gave the Connellsville defensive line plenty of time to get to him. So great job by Marietta wrapping him up and getting the sack, forcing a 2nd and long.
2nd and 18. That's Dunmeyer in motion. Here's Johnson. Throwing to his left to Danino. Danino makes a move at the 50, across the 45, up to the 43-yard line. So a loss of 8 on the first play, and a positive gain of about 6 from Danino there.
flag on the play that was Marietta lost his helmet, so I don't know if the penalty has something to do with that, but Marietta will have to come off the field for a play.
Great job, Adam. I just saw the flag blending in there on the 45-yard line.
We have a third down, and
as the officials huddle up, waiting on the call. That would make sense. I saw the helmet, yep, and as indeed that is. So the Connellsville player will exit the field. .9:28 remaining in the second quarter. Kiski leads 7-0. Connellsville coach not very happy with this call. As you said, the helmet came off of one of the Connellsville players, and I think it's safe to say that the Connellsville head coach was arguing that it was accidental. The refs thought otherwise, and Kiski's going to get a first down out of it.
Yeah, looking at the replay, I wasn't able to point out exactly which Kiski player it was. It looked like he kind of took a little shot to the helmet of Marietta that made it go off. That's what I saw in the replay, so very interesting to call a penalty on that play.
So I guess that's why you saw the Connellsville frustration on the sideline, but nonetheless, Kiski takes over from the 28. Here's Hepler again, off that left side, gets hit around the 25, but stays on his feet up to the 23-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 for Hepler. 7-0. Kiski leads with 8:30 and counting in the second quarter. Logan Johnson deep behind center with two wide receivers to his right. He's going to hand off to Hepler again. Hepler up the middle. Hit as he crosses the 20. First down marker just inside the 19-yard line. So Hepler's going to be a bit short. As I said, tackled at the 20, so we'll call it 3rd and 2 for the Cavaliers.
3rd down and 2.
Johnson has 4 wide receivers this time. 3 to his right, 1 to his left, and he's going to look right. Quick screen to Heinley. Heinley makes the catch at the 22, crosses the 20, and rolls his way to the 16. So it's going to be interesting where this spot was, as Heinley was hit right around the 19-yard line. That's where the line to gain was. And before we see a spot, we have a player down for Connellsville right now.
Yeah, a interesting play call, as it looked like Connellsville was fully expecting for Johnson to give the ball to Hepler right up the middle, but Johnson there with a little bubble screen to Heinley and got around the first down marker, as Connellsville really wasn't fooled on. You would think they'd be expecting to run with how good Hepler has been running, but got a short pass there. But again, we're waiting on the official mark on if it's good enough for first down, and looks like they are moving the sticks.
That wide receiver screen has been very effective for Kiski through the first 3 games. And as we saw last week against Latrobe, Kiski also has a play off that wide receiver screen where they fake it and have a receiver that would streak down the sideline. So a very focal point of the offense, or a central play to the Kiski passing offense. And this time, it helped them get a first down. 1st and 10 from the 18. Johnson with Hepler in the backfield. Dunmeyer in motion. Here's a handoff to Hepler. Hepler tries the right side, spins off a tackle, and he's going to be tackled right around the 15-yard line. Great effort by Hepler. That run looked like a no gain, but Hepler was able to grab 3 yards out of it.
Yeah, Hepler has gone a lot of runs, or a lot of yards off of contact, off some spin moves, some stiff arms, as Mariette, who had a sack in this drive, looked like he had Hepler wrapped up in the backfield, but Hepler, he had other ideas as he was able to make something out of nothing.
6:30 and counting in the second quarter. 2nd and 7 from the 15. Here's Johnson. Toss to Hepler. Hepler going to try the left side. Stiff arms a man, but he's brought down around the 13-yard line. Hepler, again, avoided the first tackler. I believe that was Ethan Schultz. So another no gain, or would have been a no gain, and Hepler helps the Cavaliers get positive yards. So great individual effort on the last 2 carries by C.J. Hepler. 3rd and 4 now from the 12. 5:45 and counting. Here's Johnson. And whistles. Flag on the play. Excuse me. We'll go with a timeout by Connellsville. So Connellsville calls their second timeout of that half, with 5:41 remaining and Kiski leading 7-0.
That'll leave them with 1.
Yeah, on the last 3rd and short Kiski had, they were able to get the first down with Johnson throwing a quick screen to Henley. Once again, the majority of this game, they've kept it on the ground with Hepler, but not on that last 3rd down with Kiski, as Hepler, he's just done a very excellent job of creating yards after contact and keeping runs alive. Like you saw on his touchdown run, it looked like he was left for dead at about the 5-yard line, but then he was able to make a great hesitation move and able to go into the end zone. So Hepler, I mean, I know it's only the second quarter, first half, but so far Hepler has to be my player of the game, but I know we have another full half to go. But he's looked really good for Kiski tonight in place of the injured Wilkins.
Well, and to piggyback off what you said, those last 2 runs by Hepler, both of those should have been no gain, and somehow C.J. Hepler was able to avoid tacklers, spin out of tacklers, and get Kiski positive yards as they come out with a 3rd and 4 from the 12. Here's Johnson. Shotgun. Going to take it himself. Off the left side, bounces around the end, and lowers his shoulder into the end zone for a Cavalier touchdown. Logan Johnson, with a touchdown run, extends Kiski's lead to 13.
Yeah, and it looked like he was going to be stopped a few yards short, but Johnson just lowered his shoulder and trucked a man on his way to the end zone. So great job by the dual threat quarterback Johnson to get that touchdown.
So we talked about the effort of C.J. Hepler right before that play, and now we got to give Logan Johnson a pat on the back as he turned what would have been a 3-4-yard run into a touchdown carry. Cody Dykes sends this kick through the uprights, and Kiski leads 14-0 with 5:36 remaining in the second quarter.
NPC silver color license plate. This is a Lincoln.
Logan Johnson and C.J. Hepler getting it done so far for the Cavaliers, and that was the story of the game last week as well. Kiski defeated Latrobe 35-27. And the offensive stars for the Cavaliers were Johnson and Hepler. As we said, Hepler with 2 rushing touchdowns and well over 100 yards on the ground. Logan Johnson was 10 of 15 through the air and a touchdown passing. On the ground, he rushed for 2 more. So the stars of the show last week continue where they left off, and they have Kiski with the advantage by 14.
Yeah, and keep in mind, too, Kiski was in Connellsville territory threatening to score on its first possession, but then Johnson threw an interception to Ross. So really ever since that, you really haven't seen Johnson air the ball out. They kept it on the ground with a combination of Hepler and Johnson running the ball.
We're just over 5 minutes away from the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show, so make sure you're here. Onside kick by the Cavaliers goes in and out of a Connellsville player and in the hands of Connor Jordan. Connor Jordan, we mentioned his name on the last kickoff, getting his, what I believe, his first tackle of the season. Now, Connor Jordan is congratulated on the sideline as he comes up with the ball, and Cavaliers are in Connellsville territory yet again.
Yeah, and really a surprise onside kick. Looked like a normal run-up by Dykes, but just a perfectly executed onside kick. It looked like one of the Connellsville upmen had a chance to field that ball, but just went right over his hands, and Johnson right there, head on his soul, was able to make that recovery.
Here's Logan Johnson, pressured, escapes it, fires the ball downfield, and that is caught by Dylan Hutcherson in the end zone for a Kiski area touchdown. Logan Johnson to Dylan Hutcherson, and Kiski leads 20-0. What a play by Logan Johnson to not only avoid the tackle, but to make that throw and to find Dylan Hutcherson in the end zone as Kiski is on the board yet again with their third touchdown of the night.
Yeah, he avoided a few people looking to extend the play, and he just threw an absolute strike in the end zone for only his receiver to get it, to make it 21-0.
What a great individual play by Logan Johnson, and the Cavaliers lead 21-0 with 5:25 remaining in the second quarter. You talked about the onside kick right before that play happened, and I didn't have a chance to kind of get you caught up to speed here with the Cavaliers. That is something they are definitely known for. Cody Dykes is an all-conference punter, and as we said numerous times throughout the season, probably would have been an all-conference kicker as well if they didn't have a crazy rule that only allowed them to be named at one position. But if you come to a Kiski area practice or watch Cody Dykes in some of his personal training, this is something he and his coach go over all the time, the different types of onside kicks, line drives, little pooch kicks, if you will. And right there, as you said, that was a beautifully executed onside kick, recovery by Connor Jordan, and that set up that Logan Johnson and to Dylan Hutcherson touchdown.
Yeah, and Johnson hasn't really thrown the ball much, but you figured, hey, it's 1st and 10, your team recovers an onside kick, let's take a shot downfield. Once again, Johnson, he was being pressured. He avoided a few Connellsville defenders for a sack and just threw perfect on the run. He looked like an NFL throw, something an NFL quarterback would do, avoid multiple defenders to avoid the sack and throw it for a perfect pass down the field for a touchdown. And Johnson bounced back after throwing that interception on the first drive. It has mainly handed the ball off to Hepler, but that time he had a rushing touchdown for the second touchdown for Kiski. That time he made another big play by extending and throwing a 37-yard rainbow to Hutcherson for the touchdown.
Logan Johnson, and it looked like he had a man in his face, too, as he was throwing that ball. I'm not sure if he got hit or as he was kind of throwing the ball and losing his bounce. There was definitely a defender, in the area, as he let that ball loose, and it was a perfect strike to Dylan Hutcherson right in the front of the end zone, and Kiski leads 21-0 with just over 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, in Connellsville, they're in normal kickoff formation. Maybe they're not expecting another onside kick, but they are normal kickoff formation.
Here's Dykes. He was pushed back 10 yards on that kick. So ball gathered at the 16-yard line here. Across the 25 up to the 26-yard line. Tackle on the play, I believe, was Eddie Coleman. And as I said his name, Eddie Coleman came out of the pile with the football. Obviously, the officials ruled that down, but great job by Eddie Coleman to come up with the tackle. And that's where Connellsville will take over, 1st and 10, with 5:17 to go.
10 for Connellsville. At the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and it seems like for the first few possessions of freshman quarterback Galot, they've only had him rolling out to his right. It worked one time, but it didn't fool Kiski again. So let's see if they'll have Galot throw besides out when he rolls to his right.
That is Galot in the shotgun formation. Stoppage of play here. I don't see a flag on the field. The referee is discussing something. And there it is. So flag on the play. The play clock is at 10, so it's not a delay of game. My guess, too many men on the field. Let's call it, for sure, a flag against Connellsville. So that'll move the Falcons back 5 yards. Brings up a 1st and 15.
Yeah, I counted on our replay. Connellsville did have 12 men on the field. That's what that penalty was.
So the Falcons will start at the 22 now. Here's Galot. Taking it himself. Going to try the middle. And he's hit hard by Brock Wilkins right at the 21-yard line. Brock Wilkins hit Galot right as it looked like he might have had some room. And no gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down. Coming into the play for the Cavaliers right now is number 68. That's Michael Carini as Wilkins exits the field. Connellsville with 4 wide receivers. Galot in the gun. Checking. And we have a stop play. The Kiski area coaches
look like delay a game against Connellsville as that play clock was at 0.
I was going to say, we had a Kiski area coach on the sideline that was doing some calisthenics trying to get the referee's attention, pointing emphatically at the play clock, and indeed that flag does go against Connellsville for a delay of game. So 2nd and 21 from the 16 with just over 4 minutes remaining. Here's Galot. Handoff to David. David's going to go maybe back to the original line, or excuse me, to the line of scrimmage. The original line of scrimmage is all the way up at the 27. David was tackled there at the 17.
Looked like Deshaun McBride, he was almost close to jumping off sides, but he did a good job of making sure he didn't cross over to give Connellsville a free 5 yards.
3rd and 20 from the 17. Here's Galot. Handoff to David again. And David slips through a tackle and falls forward near the 20. Well short of the 1st down. With 3:30 and counting. Each team has 1 timeout remaining. Kiski is leading 21-0 as the Falcons punt team comes out on the field.
Yeah, really, you want to keep it safe there. You really don't want to air it out with your freshman inexperienced quarterback. Just kept it safe to avoid complete disaster and hope that your defense holds after Kiski has scored on its last 3 offensive possessions.
Kiski going to get good field position here as the punt is away. Not very far as the the sophomore kicker, Ben Zavachin, almost had another one blocked there. The ball did take a Connellsville bounce. But as I said, Kiski's going to get some good field position here in Connellsville territory with 2:50 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
That's something Connellsville had a problem with in their loss last week, 37-0 to Nora, when they had a bad snap or a bad recovery and punting from their own end zone as Nora was able to recover for a safety. But good job to get that punt off just in time.
21-0, Kiski leads with 2:50 remaining, and the Cavaliers offense is going to look to extend that as Logan Johnson calls out the signals for the Cavaliers. That's Hutcherson in motion. Hutcherson off the right side, avoids a tackle at the 42. He's across the 30, cuts back, and is wrapped up and tackled at the 21-yard line. Called a pickup of 28 yards by Dylan Hutcherson.
Yeah, great block on the play there by the receiver on the near side, trying to get the number. Not sure who that was, but yeah, he did a good job of setting the edge on that run.
Just over 2 minutes to go as the Cavaliers line up at the 21-yard line. That's Dunmeyer in motion. Logan Johnson hands off to Hepler. Hepler, nobody touches him, into the end zone, and Kiski is on the board again. C.J. Hepler puts up another touchdown, this time from 21 yards, and the Cavaliers' lead is extended to 27.
So yeah, great run by Hepler. He just cut it outside, and the guy that picked up a key block on that big pass reception, technically by Hutcherson for Kiski, was the tight end Edwin Coleman. He said a great job on the outside edge to spring him downfield. Now Hepler, man had a shot at him at the backfield, looked like George Schultz, but he's like, got to try better, as he was just able to go in the end zone, no problem.
Cody Dykes with another good extra point, and Kiski leads 28-0. 2:06 remaining in the second quarter. You talked about that run by Dylan Hutcherson, and you mentioned Eddie Coleman's name. Eddie Coleman was the person that came up with the tackle and almost the fumble recovery on that kick return, the previous kick return by Connellsville. So Coleman getting his name and number called a few times here tonight. We had another Coleman that we mentioned a few weeks ago. That was our High Top Sports player of the game, and that was Sam Coleman. I believe those two are cousins, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and one thing you want from your receiver, whether it's a tight end, is to finish off your block. And after the play was over by Hutcherson, Coleman, he was still down the field about the 20-yard line, finishing off the block. So Coleman showed a great effort of blocking for Hutcherson on that play before the Hepler rushing touchdown.
We're just over 2 minutes away from the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show, so make sure you stay tuned for that. As always, we will have the Big K Marching Band. Here's a kick by Dykes, a deep one into the end zone, and Connellsville will have no chance to return that, as they will start at the 20-yard line. Long line drive kick by Cody Dykes. And Connellsville will have a 1st and 10 with 2:06 remaining on the clock.
1st and 10.
The first offensive series by the Falcons was fairly successful, as we saw Connellsville succeed on several runs and passes, but since then, it's been all Kiski area, as Connellsville not much going on the offensive side. And it continues with this run, I believe, by David, as he hit the original line of scrimmage. It looked like he crossed, but no gain. So David, nowhere to go, and it's 2nd and 10. As I was saying, Connellsville looked pretty sharp on their opening possession, but the Kiski defense is able to clamp down, and there has been nothing working for the Falcons in their last few possessions. Here's Galot. Ball was the snap. Ball was on the ground. It's in a Kiski player's hands. That is Braden Dunmeyer, and it is Kiski ball. Braden Dunmeyer comes up with the loose ball And the Cavaliers offense will come back out on the field with 1:20 left on the clock.
Yeah, just a bad exchange on that play. And Dunmire showed great hustle to recover that fumble.
1st and 10 for the Cavaliers from the 17-yard line.
1st and 10, Cavaliers. Inside the red zone. Connellsville.
That's Logan Johnson with Dunmire in the backfield. 4 wide receivers for the Cavs. Johnson's going to take it himself. He was following that Dunmire lead block across the 15 and up to the 13-yard line. Called to 12. Great job by Braden Dunmire to lead the way for Logan Johnson. We're under a minute and counting for the Cavaliers offense. 2nd and 4 from the 12. Johnson deep behind center, and that's Dunmire behind him. Johnson looking over the middle, going to try the right side. Now he's going to run. He makes a move and works his way into the end zone for a Kiski area touchdown. Logan Johnson with a 12-yard touchdown run, and your Cavaliers lead 34-0.
Yeah, Johnson made something out of nothing. He went back to throw. No mistake. Oh, I got this. I have plenty of rushing touchdowns. I'll keep it myself. And looked like he was going to be down about the 5-yard line, but he had a nice juke move inside the 5-yard line to get his second rushing touchdown. Looked like the Connellsville player that had the chance to get him was George Schultz, but really Johnson, with that great juke move, had no chance at him.
We'll take a quick break here as we have a Connellsville player down on the ground. You're listening to the High Top Sports Network.
Shop and Save at Franklin Village is a family-owned, community-dedicated supermarket with a wide variety of quality food and friendly personnel to make your shopping experience easy. Stop by their award-winning butcher shop where you'll find the freshest cuts of USDA-inspected beef, pork, and poultry. Head to the bakery for the freshest bread and rolls, and don't forget to stop by the deli for an excellent selection of cold cuts, meats, cheeses, and prepared foods like their fantastic fried chicken. That's Shop and Save at Franklin Village.
I missed the touchdown. We're back here at Richard Diltz Field as we have a man down around the 20-yard line. That's a Connellsville player, unable to see what the number is. I was saying as we were coming out of break that I missed a touchdown. So much has happened here in the second quarter. We had a scoreless first quarter, and Kiski since has been able to find the end zone 5 times as they lead 34-0 with 33 seconds to go. We've seen several Logan Johnson touchdown runs. Logan Johnson was able to find Dylan Hutcherson for a touchdown, and C.J. Hepler was able to find the end zone as well, as Kiski having a lot of success on the offensive side. 34-0 with 33 seconds to go. Here's Cody Dykes. Set to kick again for the Cavaliers. Dykes a perfect 4 for 4 so far, and make it 5 as Kiski leads 35-0. If you were absent from the pregame show tonight, Kiski area came into the game 3-0 for the first time since 2004. If they were able to hang on tonight, and certainly it looks pretty good for the Cavaliers so far, they will improve to 4-0 for the first time since 2002.
Yeah, in Kiski, they have one more non-conference game against West Allegheny next week, but if they keep playing like this, Kiski's putting themselves in great position to get a playoff spot. The last time they made the playoffs was back in 2019.
Kiski area certainly starting the season off on the right foot. Beat Butler in the opening game of the week zero game, 21-7. And successful victories against Franklin Regional and Latrobe followed. And now they lead 35-0 against Connellsville. As Cody Dykes sets to kick off. Back deep is Mickens. And number 21, that's Malone. Malone settles underneath it. He's going to cross the 15, the 20. He's got a seam. Across the 35, the 40, avoids a tackler and brought down by Cody Dykes. Around the 45-yard line as flag came in on the play right at the end on the tackle.
Yeah, it looked like that was a little bit of a high tackle, but Dykes, not only just the kicker, just showing great hustle on the special teams covers, but looked like it was a high tackle. Waiting for the official call, though. Cody
Dykes saves a touchdown there for the Cavaliers. No flag on the play as the officials waved it off. But great run there by Xavier Malone as he found a burst of speed right around the 30-yard line, was able to break a tackle around the 35, and it looked like he had daylight until Cody Dykes was able to haul him down around the 45-yard line, and that's where Connellsville will take over with 22 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Kiski area leads 35-0. So Connellsville going to take a knee and more than content, I guess, to go into the locker room trailing by 35. That will be the last play of the first half, so Kiski will take a 35-0 lead into the locker room. Stay tuned for the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show. Got a lot to go over with you here as we get you caught up on numerous touchdowns by the Cavaliers. As we get set for the bands here, we've mentioned it to you many weeks. The football game may be the primary for some people, but we don't take a break. We don't rest when the bands are out on the field. The bands are just as important here to us at High Top Sports Network. And there is none better than the Kiski area marching band. So please stay with us as Shevlin Concrete Construction gets set to bring you the Kiski area marching band. Exciting first half. If you're a Cavalier fan, 35-0. Kiski led by Logan Johnson and C.J. Hepler. And well on their way to going 4-0 for the first time since 2012. Exciting first half for the Cavaliers. Ladies and gentlemen, the Big K Marching Band.
I think that's a fire hazard. Him having all the gates along the fence locked down with chains.
Watch. It was titled Leaving Work on Friday. Be like, the guy's just running down the road. That's funny. Pulls out. Like he said,
Signed everybody yesterday. How's your funeral? Come up here.
I got root beer. You got root beer? I didn't get to that.
Honestly, I don't want the first half giving whiskey.
the 6th grade. No, but it's still like reading. This is Dr. Hi. And that's Hunter. It is. And he didn't play last year.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now entering the field is the 2021 Kiski Area High School Marching Band. The Kiski Band is under the direction of Mr. Sean Pitt and is assisted by Mr. Stephen Pacheski. The drum majors for the 5th Marching Band this year are Camille Graham and Gianna Cross. The color guard captains are Macy Otten, Abby Mortensen, and Mackenzie Coote. This evening, the band will be performing their first and second productions of their show, entitled Beneath the Shifting Sands. The music you will hear tonight comes from various sources, including a track selection named Crystal Prelude from the Circus Station Hotel, and a piece of music called Highs by the composer Stephen Malay. Several instrumentalists will be featured in our show, starting with Lucas Bledney on guitar, then David Shevlin on alto saxophone, and Cooper Sneakout on soprano saxophone. Cooper also performs throughout our second production. Our soloist and artist musicians were supported by our world-class color performers who had a stunning visual package for an exciting show. Tomorrow, the band travels to Northern History to compete in a paper show. Then we'll go on at 7:15. Bands from Deer Lakes, Burrow, Moon, Baldwin, Mount Lebanon, Elizabeth Ford, and those will also be there. The show starts at 5:45. Please come out and support your fellow Cavaliers. Looking ahead, the marching band will be performing at the Bands of America Regional Championship in Maryland on October 9th. The band will compete against groups from a total of 6 different states. We would like to wish the students and staff good luck as they continue to prepare for their big show. In addition, if you have nothing to do on Tuesday night and want to come out and support the kids, the marching band will be hosting the annual Kiski Marching Band Festival starting at 7 p.m. here at Kiski High School. Bands from all over the Kiski Valley will be there performing and entertaining the crowd. We would love to see you. Now, without further ado, here's the first production for this year's show entitled Beneath the Shifting Sands.
I had them off there. I fried cheese sticks, chicken fingers. Thanks for supper, brother.
I remember when you took us all over God's grace in a couple different places. Oh my God, yes! Remember when that was me and Jimmy? Oh, we're gonna go somewhere after the game. Oh my God. It was fun though. I don't remember where to go. It was after a football game. Me and Jimmy, remember? We went somewhere. Yeah. Whatever you need, brother. Thanks again, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Kiski Area High School marching band. On behalf of the entire marching band, the instrumental boosters would like to thank you for watching our performance this evening, and we look forward to next time.
I was going to read the construction ad sponsor. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. Are you texting me scores? I've said it like
How about you? Good?
good job.
Okay. Thanks to Jen. It is not
Great job by both bands, and of course, the Big K marching band. Welcome back to the Shevlin Concrete Construction halftime show. Kiski leads here 35-0. A very exciting first half as the Kiski offense basically since the first possession has been unstoppable. Going to pull up some stats here for you here real quick. Is the Kiski area stat man keeping us in the loop. Give me 1 second here. Sorry. Trying to get back on the mic. I was entertained by the band.
Thanks for picking my backup.
Kiski area in that opening half had 193 total yards on the ground, led by C.J. Hepler, 13 for 129 and 2 touchdowns. Logan Johnson had 5 carries for 36 yards and 2 touchdowns as well. Saw Dylan Hutcherson with his lone carry gained 28 yards, but Kiski with just under 200 yards on the ground in the opening half. In the air, Dylan Hutcherson had a catch for 37 yards. That was a touchdown from Logan Johnson. Calvin Heinley had one grab for 3 yards, and Don Donino had 1 for 6 for a total of 46 yards. So Kiski area well over 200 yards of total offense.
Yeah, and that halftime show of both the Connellsville and Kiski area band was brought to you by Shevlin Concrete Construction. Shevlin Concrete Construction is Western Pennsylvania's choice for customized driveways, floors, patios, and more. Named the 2020 winner of the Trib Total Media's Best Construction Company, Shevlin Concrete Construction has more than 25 years of experience. You can stand on craftsmanship, integrity, and traditions with Shevlin Concrete Construction. Call today for a free estimate at design consultation at 724-681-4526 or like us on Facebook. That's Shevlin Concrete Construction, 724-681-4526. And great job by both bands at halftime. I noticed you really don't see that much in high school bands. Is both bands' execution of the xylophone there, which had a very creative twist to both halftime shows. A little bit of a shameless plug, too. If you didn't hear our PA announcer, the Kiski band will be competing in multiple band competitions. Starting with tomorrow, they'll be going to Norwin for a band competition that starts at 5:45. Here, coming up this next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock here at Kiski High School, they are hosting the Alley Kiski Valley band competition. So you can see all the schools from around the AK Valley here tonight Tuesday night at 7. And all the way in October, they're going all the way to Maryland for a band competition to compete with bands from 6 different states. So good luck to the Kiski band in their next band competitions.
And thank you again to Shevlin Concrete Construction. You want to talk about the band, as I talked to the owner of the company, mentioning him the different options we had for him to help support High Top Sports and Kiski area athletics. And when I told him about the halftime show, he said, absolutely. Why else would anybody want to tune in other than, obviously, the football game, but why else would anybody tune in other than halftime to see the Big K marching band? So certainly give it up to the band members, and certainly thank you again to Shevlin Concrete Construction. If you're a business in the area or know a business owner and you'd like to join Shevlin Concrete Construction in helping support High Top Sports as we cover many local high schools, Kiski area, Freeport, Knock, and Armstrong, please visit our website and reach out to us. We have numerous opportunities where you can get involved, whether it be player of the game, play of the game, pre-game support, post-game support, many opportunities to get on board with High Top Sports and join in on all the fun, as we have well over 200,000 views on our website, social media pages, and of course viewership as we bring you all the latest sports action, not just football. Hopefully we'll be doing basketball here coming up soon, baseball in the summer.
Doing volleyball this season as well.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I don't know if you saw the volleyball game down at Vandegrift, down at Kennedy Park earlier this week. It was a fabulous exhibition, a fabulous game out on the grass field. That was certainly fun to watch and certainly enjoyable to watch on the High Top Sports Network. So please reach out to us if you're a business owner or know a business in the area, and help us continue to bring all these fabulous sports to you from your local area.
Yeah, and other scores from games we're covering on the High Top Sports Network at halftime. Greensburg-Salem is leading Knock 22-6 in Knock's first conference game of the season. And Hampton is beating Armstrong 7-0 in that game, still in the second quarter.
So we're just about set to kick off the second half. One more thank you to Shevlin Concrete Construction for their sponsorship of our halftime show. As I mentioned quickly, Kiski with well over 200 yards of total offense in the first half, led again by C.J. Hepler with 129 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. Here's the kick. Back to receive for the Cavaliers. That's Don Danino at the 6-yard line, across the 20, hit and wrapped up as he hit the 25-yard line. That's where the Cavaliers will take over. We'll review some of these halftime stats again for the Cavaliers. As I said, C.J. Hepler, 13 carries for 129 yards. Dylan Hutcherson had a carry for 28. And Logan Johnson had 5 carries for 36 yards. Of those 5 carries, Logan Johnson was also able to rush for 2 touchdowns. A total of 193 yards on the ground for Kiski. Kiski only had 3 pass completions. Dylan Hutcherson, Calvin Heinley, and Don Danino for a total of 46 yards. And we will pick up here second half action. That's Hepler again. Unable to avoid a tackle. That's number 29, Jace Ross. Right around the line of scrimmage. I don't believe Hepler was able to get back. It looked like he was down before that marker.
In my mistake, Armstrong is actually leading Hampton 7-0, and with Kiski up 35-0, that implements the mercy rule here in the second half of all high school football games where it's a running clock. The clock only stops when there's a timeout or a scoring play. So if it seems like the second half is going by faster than usual, that's why.
Here's second down. Pass complete to Heinle at the 39. Hit at the 40. Logan Johnson connects with Heinle for the second time tonight. And that's going to be enough for the Cavalier first down.
Yeah, just a perfect executed slant route. Johnson hit Heinle in stride. Really, it was tight coverage, but not much for the corner for Connellsville on the play. Mickens to do was just perfectly thrown ball. First down, Kiski.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. That's Dunmeyer in motion. Here's Johnson. Hand off to Hepler. Hepler off the right side. Looked like he was going to be able to slip out of that tackle, but he's tripped up and falls forward right around the 43-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. Second and 7 with just under 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Cavaliers lead 35-0. 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side. Johnson in the gun, fakes the handoff, going to roll to his left. He's looking downfield as he gets hit, fires a pass to Dylan Hutcherson, and it is caught at the 16-yard line. Another great throw and catch. Logan Johnson to Dylan Hutcherson.
Yeah, great job by Johnson to sell the fake, as it looked like to me Hepler had the ball for a second, but the way Johnson was holding the ball, he did a good job hiding and disguising, and he rolled to his left. Not an easy throw to throw across your body, but Johnson was able to get that ball there for his receiver, Hutcherson, who has a touchdown reception in this game in the first half.
Kiski area with a 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Here's Logan Johnson. This time he will give it to Hepler. Hepler going to try the right side. Nowhere to go. He's going to break back to the left. Another flag on the play. That's flag number 2 as Hepler is still on his feet. Hit and wrapped up as he works his way inside the 10. But 2 flags in on the play. And I believe it's going to go against the Cavaliers.
Yeah, wasn't able to see the first flag, but definitely looked like the second one was a block in the back against Kiski. As soon as there was that block in the back, I did see a flag fly.
So that run is going to come back. Illegal block against the Cavaliers. Let's get back to that passing play. Johnson to Hutcherson. As you said, Logan Johnson rolling to his left. It looked like he wanted to find Heinle down that left sideline. And Heinle was covered. So Logan Johnson had to come back toward the middle and very awkwardly had to reset and athletically make a long throw down the field. As he was making that throw, he got hit. So not only was it a tough throw just physically in terms of how he had to contort his body, but very impressive that he made the throw while he was had a defender in his face and he was being hit.
Yeah, another thing too is it's not like when he went out against his body, he threw it down the far sideline. He had to throw it down the middle to go back even more against the grain. And Johnson, both with his arm and his legs, has made a lot of excellent plays in this ball game.
I encourage you to scroll back and watch that play again when you get some time, because that was definitely one of the more exciting plays of the season. Logan Johnson to Dylan Hutcherson. Flag against Kiski on that last play, pushes him back 15 yards. It's 1st and 25 from the 34. Here's Hepler. Cross the 30. Cross the 25. He's still on his feet. Slides his way down to about the 23. And here's another flag.
Carson Henley was the quarterback for Kiski that gave the ball off to Hepler. So we have a personal foul against Connellsville.
Great job noticing freshman Carson Heinle on the field. I don't know how I missed that one. But Carson Heinle serving as the backup quarterback tonight, as LeBrin Smith was injured earlier this week. Flag was against Connellsville, as you saw the younger Heinley clapping and celebrating.
Yeah, Marietta was the one with the unnecessary roughness that just threw the Kiski player down to the ground for the easy personal foul call to make it 1st and 10.
Head coach Sam Albert politely explaining to the younger Heinley that it's probably not the best to celebrate a flag and kind of showboat, if you will, to the opposing defender. Freshman learning on the job here as Logan Johnson, looking downfield, is going to run across the 10, the 5, stutters his way down to the 3, and it's going to be enough for a Kiski first down.
Great job as Johnson extended the play once again. You've seen him do that multiple times in this game. Want to give a shout out to the tight end Carter Dills, who had a great block on the outside edge to give Johnson more time to run the ball, as now Connellsville has a 1st and goal, or not Connellsville, Kiski has a 1st and goal at Connellsville 3.
Kiski area threatening again as they lead 35-0 with just over 6 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Here's Johnson. Dunmeyer to his right. Dunmeyer going to lead the way for Johnson, and Johnson's going to scoot into the end zone for a Kiski area touchdown. Logan Johnson with his 3rd touchdown of the evening, and the lead for the Cavaliers is now 41-0.
Yeah, that's his 3rd rushing touchdown. His first 2 was from 12 yards out. Now he has 5 rushing touchdowns in 2 weeks.
Logan Johnson obviously making his bid for the High Top Sports Player of the Game, as he narrowly lost the vote last week to C.J. Hepler. The extra point by Dykes looked like it might have been tipped, and it's no good. His first miss of the night, and the Cavalier lead stays at 41. 6:23 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Kiski area leads 41-0.
It's worth $605. It's a blue ticket. Blue ticket.
Logan Johnson with the touchdown run, his 3rd of the evening.
We'll be waiting for 6:05.
Kiski area getting it done
2-3.
in every facets of the game right now. Certainly the offense clicking on all cylinders.
3-5-1-5.
Yeah, and that drive was all Logan Johnson on the first play drive. He had that great throw, not an easy throw to make to Hutcherson downfield, got them inside Connellsville territory, and from there he was able to take over with his legs, including his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game, and also Kiski was helped with a few Connellsville penalties.
You're exactly right, Adam. Logan Johnson, definitely the star of the show on that drive. As I recommended a few minutes ago, go back and watch that play from Logan Johnson as he was able to connect with Dylan Hutcherson deep down the middle of the field for a very, very impressive athletic play, setting up Johnson's 3rd touchdown run of the night. Kiski area leads 41-0. 6:23 in the 3rd quarter. Here's Dykes. Line drive off the ground. Handled by number 26 for Connellsville. I don't see a 26 on my roster, so I apologize. But the Falcons player is able to get across the 40 up to the 43, and that's where Connellsville will take over.
Excuse me, Hope on the return.
So I can hear the PA announcer, Hall of Famer, Mr. Rupert, announcing the last name of that returner is Hope. Again, I apologize. I do not have a Hope on my roster, so that's why he's in the Hall of Fame, folks. He gets information that I can't. And here's Connellsville. Great run there by Zach David across midfield. Tackled right around the 1st down line. And David, that run was good enough for a first down. So call it a pickup of 10.5 as David puts Connellsville into Kiski area territory.
Yeah, good job by David getting on the first play of the second half first down as Connellsville was able to move the ball effectively on its first drive of the game, but other than that, they didn't really have much going for them. A good way by Connellsville to start out the second half with that play.
So 1st and 10 from the Kiski 47. Here's Galot. Shotgun. Play clock is at 0, and I can hear the Connellsville coaches to my right from the booth hollering that the clock was never set. And I believe they're correct as the referees signal for the clock to be reset, and Galot will take over again here in the gun. Galot going to hand off to David, and this time David's going to lose yards. Nowhere to go as number 55, Jonathan Drejos, was there to make the tackle. I believe number 20, Eddie Coleman, was in there as well. Loss of 1 on the play. So with Kiski leading 41-0, I would assume we start hearing some names that we haven't heard much this year, as I see several different numbers out on the field. There's Coleman again in the backfield. This time he's joined by number 23, Luke Everling. Eddie Coleman and Luke Everling combined for the tackle on that play. And now Connellsville is back on their own 48-yard line.
Looked like also on the play another Coleman for Kiski, Samuel Coleman, in on the backfield to clean up the first Kiski defender to get to the ball. So both Colemans in on that stop for Kiski.
3rd and 15. Here's Galot. Looking to pass. Being pressured by none other than Diltz. The ball is out. And who is it? Eddie Coleman. Eddie Coleman comes up with the fumble recovery, and the Kiski offense will take over again. We hyped up one of the Colemans a few weeks ago. That was Sam, I believe his cousin. And now let's give some more love to Eddie, cousin Eddie, as he makes another tackle. Or excuse me, he comes up with the fumble recovery as Carter Diltz forced the fumble, and Kiski's offense will take over from the 34-yard line.
Yeah, that's Dilt's second sack of the game. He's been getting pressure all night long on Galite. Definitely probably Kiski's best defender so far in this game.
Logan Johnson. Handoff, I believe that was 25 this time, Landon Kusick. And indeed it was freshman Landon Kusick with his second carry of the season, I believe. If my memory serves me correct, he had a carry in the opening game as Kiski was running out time in their victory against Butler. Kusick able to pick up 1. Call it 2nd and 9. Here's Johnson. Toss to Kusick this time. Kusick going to try the left side, avoids the tackle, and crosses the 30 up to the 28. Kusick able to dodge a tackler or sidestep a tackler and work his way inside the 30, called the 29-yard line. So a pickup of 3 on that run. Brings up a 3rd and 5 from the 29. Landon Kusick with 2 consecutive runs. The freshman getting some time here as the Cavaliers lead 41-0. A minute remaining in the third quarter. Kusick going to try the right. and he's going to fail. That's number 29 on the tackle, Jace Ross. Ross going to trip him up right around the line of scrimmage. Maybe a loss of 1.
Ross did a good job of just disrupting that run, nowhere for Kiski to go. And he had an interception on Kiski's opening drive of the game, so really the only unsuccessful drive for Kiski has resulted in a Ross interception. Was able to make a great tackle there.
4th and 7, the Cavaliers offense going to stay on the field. This will be the last play, I believe, of the third quarter. Logan Johnson tosses it to Hutcherson. Hutcherson hit and stopped short of the first down, right around the 26-yard line. It looked like Johnson wanted to fake the throw to Hutcherson and try something deep, and there was nothing doing, so he settled for the completion to Hutcherson in a gain of about 4, but as I said, not enough for a first down. So Connellsville offense will take the field when we start the fourth quarter, as that ends the third quarter with Kiski leading 41-0. Let's take a quick break here. As I mentioned a few times earlier, we have several businesses that have supported High Top Sports Network in other areas, and we're looking for some local business in the Kiski area to help continue this great service of following Kiski sports. So if you are a business in the area, please consider reaching out to High Top Sports Network as we show you some of our other sponsors and other supporters in other areas.
Douglas Insurance Services, located in Sarver next to Freeport High School, is an independent insurance agency, which means they've made available some of their best companies for your online quick quotes. Douglas Insurance Services offers personal insurance coverages to their clients in Pennsylvania, including individual annuities, boat and watercraft, auto, condo, and flood insurance. Call them today at 1-800-722-9990. Douglas Insurance Services, a proud sponsor of Freeport Athletics.
Welcome back to Richard Diltz Field as we get set for the final quarter here. Kiski leads 41-0. Connellsville offense on the field at their own 26-yard line. Here's Galot. Hand off to David. David up to the 30-yard line. Wrapped up and taken down by number 24, Taquan Phelps. Hope I'm saying that right. Phelps with his first action of the year.
It was nice to hear Sweet Carolina as we were heading back to the break, as you see that at Pitt football games, Penn State football games locally. Just something good to hear Sweet Carolina begin the fourth quarter.
Always seems to charge up the Kiski area student body, as we got a large student section over here to my left. Nice to see the students in the bleachers and out in support of the Cavaliers as they are on their way to their first 4-0 season since 2002. As the Cavaliers continue to pile up wins, it seems like we get more and more people in the stands, and I know we got more and more people listening and watching out on the High Top Sports Network. I received several texts and emails throughout the week, certainly during the games. I got people setting up screens out in their yards, having neighborhood parties and cookouts and tailgating, if you will. So we need continued support by the local businesses so we can continue to build on this tradition, if you will, of bringing you local high school sports. We started in Armstrong and Freeport last year, and we've expanded into Knock High School and now Kiski area. As we stated, High Top Sports bringing you volleyball, hockey, football, basketball, all the local sports that we can get out to and we need your support. So if you're a local business, please reach out to us, visit our website, or send us a message on our social media pages and chip in and help us continue to provide these services for our areas and for our kids. 2nd and 6 from the 30-yard line. Handoff. No, it's a fake handoff. This is Galot. And he's down the sideline. 40, 30, and pushed out of bounds right around the 25-yard line by Holden Burkett. What a great ball fake by Graydon Galot.
Yeah, that might have been the I guess the best fake out I've ever seen from a quarterback on a read option. Literally every single player on the field besides Galot went to the left side of the field, as Galot had nothing but green turf in front of him. It was great execution of the read option by Connellsville for their best play of the night.
Galot ran a good 35, 40 yards before he was touched and pushed out of bounds in Kiski territory. Here's David. This time David handles the ball, and David is going to go in for the score. Zach David with a 24-yard touchdown run, and the shutout is broken.
Zachary David off of that left side.
So Galot with a fake handoff to David on the previous play, setting things up for David to put Connellsville on the board for the first time tonight. The extra point is up by Zavachin. And the score is now 41-7 with 9:37 remaining in the ballgame.
Greatly blocked by Josh Marietta for Connellsville as he motioned from right to left, and David just followed that block as Marietta was able to deliver a great pancake block that sprung David into the end zone.
Senior 6'4", 190, Josh Marietta, as you said, with a great lead block, helping Zach David get Connellsville into the end zone. 41-7 with 9:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. Stay tuned for the post-game here on High Top Sports Network. We'll get you caught up as best we can with some of the other scores from other games. We'll recap tonight's game, and we're going to effort our way to have an interview with head coach Sam Albert. Kind of tough sometimes to get the head coaches after the game, as they certainly like to celebrate and talk with the players, but we're going to try to get Sam Albert in the booth, if you will, or with us for an interview, as we hope the Cavaliers will improve to 4-0 for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Here's the kick, settled underneath by Hutcherson right around the 5-yard line. Hutcherson from the right side, going to work his way over to the left hash and up to the 23-yard line. And that's where the Cavaliers offense will take over, 1st and 10. I see number 14, freshman Carson Heinley, out on the field. We mentioned his name briefly earlier on in this half. He is the backup quarterback tonight, as LeBrin Smith was injured this week in practice. So the freshman Heinley will take his, I believe, his second snap of the night. Delay of game against the Cavaliers. So the freshman quarterback will be pushed back 5 yards to the 17-yard line. That's Carson Heinley at quarterback, with Connor Jordan and Landon Kusick in the backfield. Heinley Fires to his brother Heinley. Heinley to Heinley, complete, and up to the 21-yard line.
Looks like Tucker Bloom for Connellsville got a little slow to get up, but he's able to get up and walk off the field on his own power.
As one of my fellow booth members here said, little brother to big brother, Carson to Calvin, and a pickup of 4. 2nd and 11 from the 21, just under 8 minutes remaining in the ball game.
2nd down, 11 for the Big Blue.
Here's Carson in the gun. A wide receiver on each side. Going to hand off to Kusick. Kusick across the 20. Up to the 22. A pickup of, make it the 23 and a half. So pickup of about 2. Brings up 3rd down. At wide receiver for the Cavaliers. Near side, that's Xavier Ford. Can't make out the number on the far side. Here's Heinley. Going to roll and fire to Connor Jordan. Connor Jordan shakes off a tackler and crosses the 30 before being brought down at the 31. Connor Jordan with his first reception of the season. Mentioned his name earlier tonight as he was able to come up with an onside kick that helped set up one of the Kiski previous touchdowns. Got a man down on the field. So while we have an injury, let's take a quick break. You're listening to the High Top Sports Network.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
Welcome back to Richard Diltz Field here with 6:55 remaining in the 4th quarter. Kiski area leads 41-7. Injured player being helped off the field. That's Ryder Ekus. I believe that was his first action of his varsity career. Ryder, a freshman, playing the line for the Cavaliers. Certainly one of the good guys for Kiski area. Coached him at KVL a few years ago. And it's very difficult to watch him limp off the field. Excited to see him out there, so hopefully he's okay. And he can continue the season. Here's a toss to Landon Kusick as he bounces across the 35, the 40. Great run by Landon Kusick. Good enough for a first down.
Yeah, Kusick, once again, he was getting plenty of the yards after contact, well after he got the first down. You were seeing that in the first half from both Logan Johnson and CJ Hepler, making guys miss and getting yards after contact. So good job there of continuing that from Kiski runners.
6 minutes remaining in the game. Here's Calvin Heinley. Got a hand off to Kusick again. Kusick tried to find some room off left guard there. Nothing doing as he was hit at the line of scrimmage. Another Cavalier player down on the field. And again, let's take a break here as we have 5:51 remaining. Kiski leads 41-7.
With over 40 years of experience.
Protecting the things you love and how you do so is among the most important decisions you'll ever have to make. TGIF Solutions can provide you with the peace of mind by supplying answers to all of your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, business, life, or farm coverage. Contact the team at the Shellhammer Atwood Agency today in West Katanning to be sure that you, your loved ones, and the things that matter most stay safe when it matters the most. TGIF Solutions, insurance for what matters.
Douglas Insurance Services, located in Sarver next to Freeport High School, is an independent insurance agency, which means they've made available some of their best companies for your online quick quotes. Douglas Insurance Services offers personal insurance coverages to their clients in Pennsylvania, including individual annuities, boat and watercraft, auto, condo, and flood insurance. Call them today at 1-800-722-9990. Douglas Insurance Services, a proud sponsor of Freeport Athletics.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at Katanning Store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
We're back here on the High Top Sports Network. Some score updates for you. Knock is trailing Greensburg-Salem 27-6 in the fourth quarter, and Armstrong is losing 21-14 that game also in the fourth quarter.
5:51 remaining in the fourth quarter. As you can see, Kiski area leading 41-7. We have an injured player down on the field for the Cavaliers. Unfortunately, he being helped up by several people on the medical staff. It looked like something with his leg. Saw a big air cast, if you will, by one of the medical officials, and the Kiski player being helped up onto the stretcher, obviously unable to walk. So certainly wish the best to the injured player and his family. Hate seeing anyone hurt. As we mentioned previous to that, freshman Ryder Ekis was limping off, and tough to see him limp off on his own power, and this is certainly worse, as this Kiski player, as I said, going to have to be helped off. The Cavaliers fans giving him a nice round of applause. I believe the injured player was number 88, Connor Jordan. Saw him in on the last play and immediately rolling on the ground in pain. So again, wishing our best to Connor Jordan. Again, somebody I coached in different sports, so tough to see any of the Cavaliers players down, but certainly not enjoyable when it's somebody that you had previous connections with. So best wishes to Connor Jordan and his family. Hopefully it's nothing serious. 41-7 is your score here as we get back to action. Cavaliers will be faced with a 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. Carson Hindley going to toss it to Landon Kusick. Kusick across the 40, the 45, tackled around the 47. Flag in the backfield, and it's going to be a hold against the Cavaliers. Run by Kusick. Going to get pushed back. Holding against Kiski area. And the Cavaliers will have a second down from the 31-yard line. Call it 2nd and 20. Here's Carson Hindley. Hand off to Kusick again. Kusick off right tackle. Dances his way up to the 38-yard line. Pickup of 7 on the carry. 3rd and 13 with just under 5 minutes remaining. Kiski area going to move to 4-0 as Connellsville will fall to 0-4. Kiski area will get set to play West Allegheny next week. Here's Hindley rolling to his left, fires across, complete to number 82. Unfortunately, I don't have an 82 on my roster. I'll try to get that name for you, but great throw by Carson Hindley. And the Cavaliers are close to a first down. Pickup of 12 on the play. 4th and 1 from the 49.
Gain of 12 on that play.
Here's Carson Hindley. Going to hand off to Kusick. Kusick hit at the line of scrimmage. Keeps his legs going across the 46-yard line and good enough for a first down. Landon Kusick, small gain there, but good enough to give the Cavaliers a new set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 47. .322 and counting. Here's Carson. Hand off to Kusick. Dodges a tackle. Cross midfield. And I believe he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the carry. 2nd down.
2nd down. 11.
Here's Carson Hindley in the gun. Toss to Kusick. Kusick going to try the right side this time. He's hit and wrapped up by number 23. That's Lonzie Vilma. Vilma, another freshman. This time for Connellsville. And no gain.
3rd down and 10.
3rd and 10 for the Cavaliers from the 47-yard line. Just over 2 minutes remaining. Here's Hindley again. That's Emmerling. Split wide, near side. Hindley's pitch to Kusick. Bobbled for a second. Kusick was able to corral it and get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe gain 1. A few Connellsville players in on the tackle there. I believe Metzger was one of them, Ben Metzger. First time we mentioned his name tonight, another freshman. So several players on both sides of the ball getting some varsity experience.
Good to see the depth charts.
Absolutely. It's always fun to see some new players getting some time out on the field. It's 4th down. Heinley going to fake a handoff. He's going to roll to his left. He's going to run it himself. Makes a move at the 45 and steps out of bounds right around the 43. Good pickup by Carson there, but not enough for a first down. So turnover on downs by Kiski area with 1:04 on the clock, and Connellsville will take over.
Yeah, it was good to see the younger players. As I've heard from a lot of coaches, the only way you get better is playing experience. You get the guys out there, get them a little bit of experience against another team.
Absolutely, as we have handfuls of fans filing out, you're exactly right. These are the future stars of both teams, and it's always nice to see these younger guys, getting some action, getting some time. Always fun to announce some new names. On the offensive side for Connellsville, that's still Galot. He's going to try the right side, looking downfield. Pressured by number 24 for the Cavaliers. I believe Taquin Phelps. Galot smartly throws the ball out of bounds before he was sacked, and that's going to be the last play of the game. So Kiski area, for the first time, as we said, since 2002, improves to 4-0 with a 41-7 victory at Dilts Field.
Well, what a start to the season there for Kiski so far, 4-0.
Very exciting for Kiski area and for the Cavalier fans. Each year, the Cavaliers football team has shown glimpses and given us exciting moments. As Adam mentioned earlier, gave us the playoffs 2 years ago. Unfortunately, Kiski area in the COVID-shortened season didn't get any postseason action last year. But the Sam Albert era here at Kiski area has definitely been exciting, and it continues here tonight as Kiski area puts another win in the column, 41-7 over Connellsville. Connellsville will fall to 0-4, and on the flip side, the Falcons will extend their losing streak to 11. We're efforting, excuse me.
I was going to say, checking in with our Armstrong and Hampton game, Armstrong scored, did not tie the game on the extra point with a few seconds left to go in the fourth quarter there.
Wow.
Looking for an onside kick. You see, we'll get back to that later on.
So getting you some extra action, what do we call it, some fifth quarter action from our other High Top Sports games. Armstrong was trailing by 7 in the closing seconds of their game, and I don't know if they missed an extra point or went for 2, but they are trailing 21-20 with 38 seconds to go. So some excitement there as well. I started to say we are efforting to try to get head coach Sam Albert up into the booth with us to give a little post-game interview. We'll get you caught up a little bit more here on the summary from our game. All Kiski all the time, as Logan Johnson led the way tonight with 3 touchdown runs and a touchdown pass. Logan Johnson connected with Dylan Hutcherson. I believe that was early in the second half. So after C.J. Hepler was able to put up well over 100 yards rushing in the first half, it was Logan Johnson who finished it up and took the star of the show, if you will. So again, I sound like a broken record. I feel like a broken record each week, as several Cavaliers could be considered for player of the game, but I think this time we're going to have to go with Logan Johnson.
Yeah, it's been a great night for several Cavaliers, as you mentioned, but Johnson a great standout, and we'll give him the player of the game.
Logan Johnson will be our High Top Sports Network player of the game for the first time this season, as he helps Kiski move to 4-0 with a 41-7 victory over Connellsville, trying to see how this Armstrong game wraps up.
Yeah, Hampton was able to recover the onside kick, so they just went to the victory formation. The final score there, 21-20.
So unfortunately, one of our fellow High Top Sports Network teams, the Armstrong, I'm trying to think, what is their mascot? I just blanked out. Thank you.
Yeah.
I knew it was a bird. I couldn't picture what it was. The Riverhawks losing a heartbreaker, 21-20. Let's take a quick break as we effort to get Coach Sam Albert here. Hopefully you're still tuned in. You're listening to the High Top Sports Network.
Just finishing up a 100% outside renovation project at the Catanic store. Don't miss out. Come and see us. Check out our Pennsylvania skill game room. We have the newest machines, the newest games. We have 5 machines. We're about to add a 6th machine. $10,000 jackpots on all 6 machines. Don't miss out on a chance to win. We have the lowest possible prices and the best quality of anybody in the area. We'll take it up against anybody in the area. We put our stamp of approval, #SableMeat, on every single package, and we're here to serve you every single day. We also have chef-prepared, chef-quality prepared sushi, everyday fresh, and Sushi Wednesday, $5 sushi rolls, and you can win by liking and sharing our favorite page, Sushi Madness shirt. Don't forget to check out our millions of bakery deli products that we're making fresh every day. Appreciate all the support out there. We can't do what we do without you. Come and see us.
Welcome back to the High Top Sports Network post-game here. I encourage you to stay tuned. I can see Adam Morganti down on the field, patiently waiting for Coach Sam Albert as he talks to a fellow reporter. We're efforting to get Coach Albert up in the booth with us so we can talk to him a little bit as the Cavaliers extend their win streak to 4 games, improve to 4-0 with a 41-7 victory over Connellsville tonight. Again, if you missed it, Logan Johnson was our High Top Sports Player of the evening as he and C.J. Hepler led the way for the Cavaliers tonight. Logan Johnson ran for 3 touchdowns and threw an additional touchdown to Dylan Hutcherson, as it was all Kiski all the time tonight. I would be remiss, or I would cheat Kiski area if I didn't mention the defense. Kiski area gave up a touchdown late to Connellsville on one of the crazier plays that we've seen this year. A fake by quarterback Jalot as he rolled out to his right, and a run down the sideline untouched for about 40 yards before the Connellsville running back Zach David was able to punch it in. But up until there, Kiski defense literally, would not break. They were stout all night long, and again, definitely part of the story as the Cavaliers lead the victory.
Yeah, Connellsville just had something up their sleeve there on that drive, and hey, you always want to try to look at it positive. For Connellsville, they found a way to make a few plays, and they got some points on the board. Yeah. It's not a complete waste of a night.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure if you're the freshman Galot making his first start of the season, it's definitely going to be something that he remembers and or can hang his hat on as he goes into week number 4. But again, as we said, the Cavaliers' defense was just incredible all night long. We talked about it in the pregame show. Several players for Kiski area coming up big with interceptions or fumble recoveries. Dom Danino, Isaiah Gonzalez, Braden Dunmeyer, Carter Diltz, Sam Coleman, all had interceptions. I believe fumble recovery by Carter Diltz earlier in one of the previous games. Connor Jordan on an onside kick tonight, coming up with a fumble recovery or a recovery on the onside kick. So several players contributing to the Kiski's 4-0 start, and it's really fun to watch. Certainly while you have C.J. Hepler and Logan Johnson getting it done on the offensive side, there's other players like Calvin Heinley and Matt Hilty, who unfortunately we didn't see tonight because he is injured, contributing on the offensive side. You had Dylan Hutcherson get into the action tonight. And then on the defensive side, again, we mentioned 8 or 9 players that have contributed. So you hear coaches talk all the time about team effort and everybody doing their job and 1 of 11 and all the cliches, but truly that's what it's been for Kiski all season.
Yeah, that's the best kind of win if you can get as a team win. Is a team win. That's the best kind of win you get. It could be 1 of 11 or 1 of 22 if you count starters on both sides of the ball, but it's 1 in however many on the roster. Even if you're just a guy on the sideline, bringing the energy, bringing that intensity, and really 1 in this whole entire Kiski football environment that's something I've always been in awe of, is the environment when you come to a Kiski football game. In case you didn't miss out, Adam Morganti down on the field trying to get the Kiski head coach for our post-game interview, but it's basically letting it fill in on the Keller headset. I graduated from Armstrong back in 2018, and that was, the 2 closest teams. It was somewhat of a local rivalry. So, I'd come out and, I'd sit with the Armstrong guys, maybe get booed by the Kiski student section, but it's always fun to come out to a Kiski football game. You're going to love the environment they have here.
Sorry about the pause or break in the action there. We are, as we said, efforting to try to get Coach Sam Albert up in the booth with us, and we are, as we talk, we're kind of keeping an eye on our fellow companion here, Adam Morganti, as he wrestles Coach Albert away from some of the family members and certainly excited fans after the game. It looks like Adam indeed was able to get a hold of Coach Albert. I see him working his way up the track. So if you're still listening to us, we encourage you to stay on board, as it looks like Coach Albert's going to make his way up the bleachers towards us. Let's take another real quick break, and I can almost promise you we'll have Coach Sam Albert when we come back. You're listening to the High Top Sports Network.
Douglas Insurance Services, located in Sarver next to Freeport High School, is an independent insurance agency, which means they've made available some of their best companies for your online quick quotes. Douglas Insurance Services offers personal insurance coverages to their clients in Pennsylvania, including individual annuities, boat and watercraft, auto, condo, and flood insurance. Call them today at 1-800-722-9990. Douglas Insurance Services, a proud sponsor of Freeport Athletics.
Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop is the official clother of High Top Sports Network and is a family-owned company that can handle all your custom embroidery, custom sign, and laser engraving needs. Located at 409 4th Street in downtown Fort City, Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop can create sports and career apparel to the exact specifications of your organization. Their laser engraving department can put your logo or design on glasses, tumblers, insulated cups, signs, coffee cups, and more. Call Gross Embroidery and Sign Shop at 724-763-2461 today.
Welcome back to Richard Diltz Field, and as I promised, we will have Coach Sam Albert in the booth with us. I can see him making his way up the bleachers. Excited to have you here, those of you that stayed with us. After watching Kiski area defeat Connellsville 41-7, the Cavaliers improved to 4-0, and they will get set to play West Allegheny next week. Should be a very interesting non-conference game, as so far this season, all the Cavaliers games have been very interesting and very exciting. We mentioned right before we went to break how many players have contributed for the Cavaliers so far, and certainly that was the case tonight, led by player of the game, Logan Johnson. Head coach Sam Albert making his way in, and I'm going to hand off my headsets and my microphone as Adam Morgani is going to do the dirty work.
Thank you, Coach Kiski, Head Coach Sam Albert, for joining us on this interview on Hot Top Sports Network. So you guys had a few of your offensive weapons out for this game, including senior running back Brock Wilkins. C.J. Hepler had a great game on the ground, scoring 2 rushing touchdowns. So why do you think he was so effective for you guys tonight?
He works hard every day at practice. We're just glad he came out this year. He hasn't played since 8th grade. And he decided to come out his senior year, and thank God because he's done a great job for us.
One thing I noticed with Hepler, there was a few runs, including touchdown run, where it was either a hesitation move at around the line of scrimmage, and he also fought for yards after contact. So how much of that, I guess, the hard work and practice did you see, do you think definitely paid off on the field tonight?
Yeah, definitely, and I'd love to tell you I taught him that stutter move, but I didn't. That's just natural. He runs hard, and like I said, his hard work in practice showed tonight.
Logan Johnson, on your first drive, he threw that interception when you were threatening to score in Connellsville territory, but he calmed down throughout the rest of the game, scoring touchdowns both through the air and on the ground. So just talk about how he calmed down after that first drive. Was this something you said to him, or was it something where he had a short memory and let that go in the past?
Yeah, you know, he's very dangerous. He just ad-libs. He gets out of the pocket and runs and throws, and so he's exciting to watch. After the first interception, he got down. I brought him over and said, hey, you're the leader. You know, they follow you. If you're down, they're down. And you saw he responded and picked us up. But, yeah, he's an unbelievable talent.
Absolutely, and you guys are 4-0 for the first time since 2002. You are back here at home against West Allegheny for homecoming before your first section game against North Hills. So with you guys being 4-0, what do you guys have to do to keep up this good play and continue for more wins and push for the playoffs for this season?
Our big key is staying healthy. Our first 11 that we put on the field, we feel can compete with anybody. But we don't have the depth that a lot of 5A teams do. So as long as we're healthy, we'll compete with anybody. We just hope we remain healthy. We have to get Matt Hildy back. He didn't play tonight. We got to get LeBron Smith back, Brock back, and then we're hoping to stay healthy.
All right, thank you, Head Coach Sam Albert. That was Coach Kiski, Head Coach Sam Albert here on the High Top Sports Network as Kiski won 41-7. Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you very much.
That'll be all from High Top Sports Network tonight. As we said, Kiski will take on West Allegheny next week, so make sure you stay tuned to the High Top Sports Network, and we'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone.